All right, we got 16 people here. Let's give it a few more minutes for some people to show up.
She can't go left me with him right or wrong. Everybody around me top, I come to my space. Everybody highlights top, I up in my space. When we disconnect the Wi-Fi, up the hill is over drastic. I hope you gassed it. I'm over gas, you crashed it. The last one, the last. You tried to find real in plastic. The mother hose is mastic. Where you rock the classic bomb bastard. The setup of the dynasty is looking dynastic. You know the Don nasty, the mud boys nasty. You know the Jack nasty. You know the fade nasty. You know the chase. You know the chase nasty. You know my place. My place is like the Afghans. It's worth the nil. I'm a night off in the night and got a nil. One night with me was the tea, but don't you spill. Throw that body fake, baby, keep it real. If he hit, don't give him nothing like the church. And come to my players club, I'm dollar. To put my address in like I don't know where I stay. She know my phone number, but...
All right, guys. Let's get it going. All right, we got about 40 people on here now. All right, cool. So let's get it going. To be honest, today was actually some pretty good price action, way better than yesterday, obviously. And we got the news and stuff out the way, Fed meeting out the way, and so that was exactly what we were kind of looking for. So if you're confused on kind of what happened today, I'm going to explain exactly what happened with SPY QQQ, how I played it, what I was looking for, and then things like that. So if you don't know and you're new here, I'm Rico Capital. I'm making traders money every single day. I'm making money. If you're a new trader, if you're a struggling trader, or if you're an established trader, I'm who you need in your corner. I can help you. So let's get into it. Now, last night on stream, I did say, we're green. We're pretty green sitting at this area right here. And this was when I was on stream last night at this time. We were sitting about right there in this area. As you can see, we went to sleep and it gapped up a little bit more, or it pushed up a little bit more. Now, here's the deal. This right here created a gap, right? This is the indifference between after hours yesterday, which would be like right now, and then the morning time, which, Eastern time, it's like what, 3 in the morning Eastern, or whatever it is, 4 in the morning Eastern. So it's that gap period. And if you don't have this, I need you to take off that overnight trading and have extended hours. I think it's extended hours turned off, or have the extended hours for sure, but have like the complete overnight turned off, because this would be a complete move. If you turned off the overnight, you'll see that the gap forms. And just to help you, I right click on Webull here and just, gap, show the gaps. It's a little bit different on the other version, like desktop version. I can show you on that here in a little bit. That's pretty much just chart settings. You go to chart settings and it shows the gap of what it is. And let's see if I can kind of show it. See if I can pull it up. Let's see. I have it, but I don't think you see my screen. Let's see it. Here we go. Let me show you this real quick, guys. All right, so I'm looking at Webull here. Pretty much, if you just go on, you know, your chart settings, and you'll see, where is it? That's not it. Okay, yeah, you can just right click again, chart settings, display. So you can see show gaps, show all the gaps that you need. I say show 5 gaps, and it's pretty much what this is right here. Okay, you can't even see you can't even see it on the stream. All right, forget it. We're going to go back to the other screen. You can't even, that's crazy that you can't even see my my other thing. Let's see. All right, technical difficulties here, everyone. There we go. All right. Anyways, we'll bring it back to this. You guys get the point of this. Anyways, gap right here. Just show the gap, whatever helps you. Anyways, you'll see that it will be a gray shaded area for that. It makes it easy. You see it right here, and you can see it. We still have some left on QQQ. Now we opened up here, and of course, upside plans did work. But the thing is, you have to understand this. When we gap up, you gotta know what gap fills are. Gap fills are that overnight liquidity right here. Usually gets 8 on SPY and Q same day. Sometimes it doesn't, but we gotta be looking for signs and things like that for it to fill. So I saw those signs very early on into pre-market, right? And some of those signs are this, you know, we already kind of started eating the gap here pre-market. As you can see, the gap under for QQQ about right there starts like 48 area. We started eating it pre-market, and you can see we actually went to this demand. Now this was a little bit tricky because at any point, you know, we could have hit this demand, turned around and ripped like that. As you can see, you know, it was waiting on that, and that was pretty much, you know, Trump meeting and all that. So it was pretty tricky, not gonna lie. Now I didn't go QQQ at open. I went SPY puts, and then I went TQQQ. The reason why I went SPY was because SPY was actually weaker than QQQ here. And so I knew that we opened up right here. I knew that likely we were going to come eat this gap. We had a good amount of room left. So we opened up on this red candle, and I didn't care about this demand. I knew that if we slammed these puts, we should at least get that ride down to this demand, or at least this flag that I drew. From there, I told the team I'm going to be looking for calls and seeing if we can pull that out the fire. And so I was definitely looking for that, but I slammed some 561 lottos, like right it open as we pushed up a little bit on that wick. You can see it right there. We pushed up on that wick, and I just shorted it. And I just did that with the confidence that, you know, likely we're going to pull down to 562, 561 area where these will go at the money, in the money. So as long as I get them for a decent price, I know that at least be over $100 a contract. But I got them filled in, around 90, $100 anyway. So I was like, yeah, these would be more. Knowing how juice contracts are, these would probably be around 150, 200. So we pushed up, I slammed those puts, and I was looking for TQQ as my heavy size play. Now, you know, market was pretty slow kind of at open. You guys saw that. It was kind of slow. I'm sure some people were trying to go long there, but sellers never jumped out. I mean, yeah, sellers never jumped out. Buyers were there the whole time to get out, and they're actually trying to pile in a little bit later, but they're there to get out, and I saw sellers really just stepping in. And I knew that would probably fill the gap, but again, would still be green on the day, and likely bulls are going to really step in. So I saw bulls stepping in, but they weren't going to be enough to stop the gap fill. They were just kind of, you know, building their position for this move up here, which was cool. That's just fine. I slammed those 561s down for $100. We rode it all the way down there. Beautiful. Those hit like 200 plus all out. And we didn't even fill the rest of the gap. We went a little bit lower here, but I knew top of the flag right here, they're going to try and defend. I waited, and then, as this was happening, 5, 7 minutes goes by. I turn around and go heavy size on TQQ, and this is what I saw on TQQ. We're pretty much flagging here. The moment we finally opened up outside of this flag, you see it right here, is when I took those puts. And that was exactly what I was kind of looking for a ride all the way down to that 57.66 level, which was a level already had, and it's honestly perfect. Look how we perfectly tagged it, 57.66 to the T, to the mark. We hit it, and we didn't even fill the gap, which I was not even caring about. I slammed those puts, and I was like, heavy size. I don't even care. I'm trimming into the move all out. Once we got that kind of final push down, which was pretty nice. So as we opened up outside that flag there, no brainer for me. I ended up, slamming the 58 weekly. So Friday expiration, the 58 put. And I went with 58 because we're already at the money at 58 right there. So I wanted to capture something like kind of faster. We got them for like 88. I got it for 88 bucks. They stayed around there for a little bit. And, right here, we got that move down. I like that. The next one opened up. We kind of got a retest and then came right down lower. Putting these about to be like, they're in the money, but about to be a little bit way more in the money. We chopped around for another 30 minutes, and then we got that move down, which put them in the money for sure. Those contracts went from 88 bucks all the way to 140 bucks. That's good enough for me. I went heavy size, and I led the team right there down. That was my literal exit right here. That line right there. I knew it would probably go a little bit lower. I don't really care if it did go lower or if it dropped to here. I was like, I'm out at that orange line. That's it right there. The way this was kind of choppy around right here, I didn't like that at all. I need to see volume step up. When we're selling off, it needs to be good volume. I don't like to mess around. I need to see some solid volume. I need to see us slicing. I don't like, slower volume. So I knew once I was all out on that, boom, 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 I turned around and I was telling the team, all right, guys, I'm going to be looking for Q calls right here to see, how price acts, around there. And then immediately I see this candle push up right there. And I was like, okay, should be good to go. And then this one ended up ripping up right there after, Trump started going off. I was like, all right, it's time. So this candle was really the one I played right here. Ended up, waiting to see if we start pushing up, and we start pushing up about right there. Ended up slamming some Q lotto calls right there. Or no, they're 1 day expiration. I'm sorry, I went 1 day just in case we had to swing. I went the let's see, I went the 494s. 494 tomorrow dates, got them for 190 bucks right here. I really watched them go from like 130 to like 190, and I was like, damn it, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't be sidelining, so I slammed it right there. I knew it would go zone to zone. We pushed up, and then we even went further. But these went from 190 all the way up to like 250 plus, and I was all out up there at like 245, 250, and then I didn't care what happened after that. I just wanted to see if they would hold. And last minute, it looks like they pulled us down there, which I almost took some calls for the swing, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna be trading live for the team. I'd rather just have a solid Lotto Friday, no swings, no baggage going into a fresh Lotto Friday, and that sounds pretty good to me, to be honest. So I definitely capitalized off that, and good thing too, because that was a pretty good little pull down right there. But like I said, I was trying to tell the team, if you're gonna go for anything, go for next week. It looks like the market is flagging here, in which we are, and I'm loving this, loving this. So we'll see kind of what happens tomorrow. Now, let me tell you guys something. We did not finish the rest of the gap down here for QQ, and you can still see it's a little bit shaded there. But it ends right at what, 483.51. Let's see, high on this candle, 43.48. So 43.48, you can see the shaded right there. So likely we are going to be trickling down a little bit, and then probably break and come down to fill this fill the rest of this gap right there. Flag and then out the gap. It's gonna be thin. Likely they'll try and do it sooner than later, but we'll see. Maybe they'll leave it open. Bulls seem pretty eager there. Now, I did go over this, I think last week, the difference between gap downs, gap ups, and the difference between when we see a gap, whether if it's a gap down or gap up, the difference in the pre-market, whether you know if that gap's going to fill or not. We actually, it was this week. It was actually this week where I kind of showed the example on SPY where we gap down here, we rounded and then filled the gap. We gap down here, rounded, filled the gap. Now, shocker, shocker, no shocker here. We gapped up, rounded, and then filled the gap. Now, say we gapped up here and then kind of rounded this way. It really just meant like, they're really trying to hold this as best they can, but they start eating it immediately. So once I kind of saw that selling pressure, and I tell you guys my tricks, or pre-market, I'm looking right before open. Am I seeing that selling pressure? Because they could hold it all the way up into the last 5 minutes, and right when I see that selling pressure come in, right before a gap fill, that's usually what happens. So keep an eye on that, guys. That's kind of my trick. Gap fills are tricky. Sometimes they fill, sometimes they don't. But you gotta look for the signs. There's always signs, right? There's always signs. Nvidia sign. We gapped up into a pretty nasty supply here, right? And so we knew sellers were up here. It couldn't break the top of it. Look how it perfectly ran to the top of it. And of course, this zone was already here. And so look how right there we couldn't break the top of it. The signs are there, and it started pulling down, fell, and then ate the gap all at open right there. You can see the rest of the gap. It pretty much ate that gap. Pretty significant. So if you're like, all right, Nvidia's weak selling off, Amazon's doing the same thing where it gapped up into a supply, and then start eating. Likely Q and SPY are going with it. Which one's stronger, weaker? Let's go with it and slam. No hesitation. So that's exactly kind of some signs you want to be looking for, guys. 78 people on stream right now. Appreciate y'all showing up. Ask me questions if you guys need some questions about some of the gap fills and stuff like that. But I mean, this is how you turn a little bit of money into a lot of money, guys. I really didn't want to say it today, but I mean, I went heavy with the TQs and they worked out fine. I really ended up going heavy on the SPYs, even though I called it out for the team and said, go small, keep it small. Let's see if we fill the gap. And then, for me, it was like the signs were there, and I just started hammering it, and then we finally gave it up, and boom. So gap fills are gap ups, back down are the plays that are, if once it goes, it's 100% hit rate, and I turn a little bit into a lot. I'm talking $1,000 into a few thousand easy. I mean, you get it right, you can really turn a little bit into a lot. 10K into 20 really easy. So those are the type of plays. As long as you stay patient for them, you'll be all right. So anyways, going in tomorrow, we're pretty much sideways. I need to check what news we have next week, because if there's some significant news, then likely we won't go higher, and we'll come down, fill these gaps to finish up. But I did post a Lotto Friday watch list real quick for the team, and I did tweet out. Let's see. I was like, heart this if you guys want my Lotto Friday watch list. 7 people liked it. Get it to 10 right now, and I'll post those that list for you guys. It's a small one, but it's mighty. We got Tesla on it. Tesla's looking like a banger. We got other names on it that look pretty good as far as setups go. Of course, the SPY QQQ levels. But yeah, pretty good. Oh, also TSM. Remember I said, you guys, that's a name I was looking out for, right? If we ended up breaking the flag upward, we're going to run to that next zone. Let's see what happened. I didn't catch it, but spoiler alert, it worked. Look at that. So we broke out the flag, and of course, right there, broke out the flag and ended up running to that target, which was perfectly the next supply zone up. You can see sellers stepped in there. Obviously, this is where to sell, get all out, or trimming into the move, get all out, reversed all the way back down. Beautiful. I mean, super easy there, to be honest. That was a really easy play I was looking at just in case I couldn't find something or, whatever. But that looked pretty good to me, to be honest. And I think I was just keeping it with QQQ. I was kind of telling y'all that already. We're keeping it QQQ. So this is a prime example of, plans working, but new elements, introducing itself. say you did long at open here and you're getting squeezed a little bit, you'd have to have waited, knowing all this is pretty good territory for support, and then get that push up. So I mean, again, a rare, not a rare day, but one of those days where puts and calls worked. As long as you somewhat got your entry decent and you just stayed patient, right? Say you shorted down here, you would have worked. Longed here and waited, you would have worked. Unless you longed up here, it wouldn't have worked. Unless you're swinging something, but shorting up here, of course, worked. Out of supply there, worked beautifully. So, and you can kind of see there's a level right here. I really don't want to put it, but you can see it right there. Notice how it lines up pre-market stage right there. Um, I really don't want to put that level there unless it matches up over here, which it does. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna put it there. Yeah, it does. I like zone to zone. I don't care for how many blue lines I need to put, because if you really think about it, you could really get lost in putting all these lines in everywhere. You just need to know where the big movers are at. A lot of congestion around here, to be honest. I don't really like staying around this area. I would like to see SPY either below 556 or above 85. Around here is just kind of a nasty like zone, like just kind of too much traffic, way too much traffic. I don't like that. So cool, cool. Yeah, I mean today was good. We went 3 for 3. Two sets of puts, one calls. Got the ripper, did less. Sat back, did less. And that's a big part of winning, is just doing less when you know you just won, doing less when you know you're up on the week, doing less when you know there isn't any real action happening. So I try and scream that to my members as best as I can. I know it's hard sometimes, but yeah, it's tough. Questions, let me know. But it's been a pretty crazy week, to be honest. And by crazy, I mean it was just complete tough action for a lot of people. I think Monday, Tuesday were really good for us because we got those gap downs and we just played calls on the way up. Yesterday was just whatever, and then today was a pretty monster day for us. So tomorrow I'll be trading live for the crew, and we're gonna be absolutely killing it. I mean, when I'm trading live, I'm not missing. As long as we stay patient, we'll be all right. We'll definitely be all right. But yeah, if you want to join the team, guys, WAP.com/Rio Capital, link under bio. Join the team, guys. Come live trade with me. It's a good time. It's definitely a good time. Um, yeah, I mean, join the team. Link is there. I don't know if you guys can even click on that link, but link is there. WAP.com/Rio Capital. Join the team. The last code I have is about to go away, and that's code WIN if you want to save some money on sign up. It's worth it, trust me. You're making it back same day. It's an investment for yourself too, guys. Learning some valuable things. One thing, schooling, one thing, life, it's just, they're not going to teach you is how to make money. And this is something where I've literally cracked this code on how to make money. Literally how to make money. I'm not telling you guys how to read a book, or I'm not telling you guys quantum physics. I'm not telling to teach you how to split an atom or anything. I'm literally teaching you how to turn $1 into 5, how to turn $5 into 10, how to make money here, which is totally different. I don't care what walk of life you are, what your IQ level is at. Is if you have internet connection, you got a little bit of money, and you can take directions. Not saying I'm perfect and right all the time, but I'm right a good amount of time, enough to make you some money, enough to have a track record, enough to make other people money, enough to make myself money, enough to have something great going on here. Because anything bullshit, all the real shit's always gonna last. Bullshit fades away, and real stays forever, and real continues to grow. And that's what we're doing over here, Rigo Capital. I know y'all see the comments. I know y'all see some of the stuff I'm retweeting from members. They're 100% Rico Capital, and they're supportive, and I love them, and I appreciate them, and I would not want to be in this game with anyone else. But all I'm saying is, have that system in place, have something you can trust, and run it. Have some patience and have some confidence, and just don't stop showing up. That's the thing. You gotta not stop showing up. One thing I was kind of reflecting on today is, wow, I've came a long way from trading, from just starting trading, because I work with a lot of people that are on total different spectrums of where they're starting, and sometimes I forget how much I know, right? It's a lot of information, and I try not to overwhelm because I try and tell them just everything they need to know, but I forget, like, I do have a background in finance. I do have a passion for numbers. I do have experience in this and been doing this. I do have, a lot of accolades that, I forget kind of roll off the tongue easy for me, and a lot of people kind of get tripped off of just the lingo itself, right? I totally forget about that, right? Some members were like, "What do you mean by trim?" Like, oh, sorry guys. Like, I forget some of these. Like, I have made up a little bit on my own. If I'm like slam, they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Oh, when I say slam something, that means buy it with confidence, right? If I'm like SPY puts right now slam, that means buy it with confidence. Trim means sell some, sell it. I like to sell things into the move. I like to, if we slam puts right it open here, and we got the absolute, top fill right there where, this thing starts working immediately, and those contracts go from $100 to 115, 120, and then 130, 150. I want you to be at like a checkpoint selling into the move. So if you took 10 contracts, I want 2 out at 110. I want 2 out at 120. I want 4 out at 130, and I want the rest out at 150. I want you to be systematic about it, a robot. I want you to be there. It takes so much less pressure off you of your exit, right? Because no one's going to get a perfect exit, but if you're slowly getting out of the position, you're going to get damn well close to the very end, because you're going to know, all right, I need to get out of this. It's time. I already rode these for 100%. I already rode these for 50%, and market's kind of slowing down a little bit. I don't like that. Time to get out for complete profit. Boom, boom. You don't got to be like, oh, I got to get them to fill my whole order here, So, there's a system. I got it down to a science. And that's just stuff I've trialed and errored throughout the years, tested myself, did things. And so that's why I have this in place, so you guys can continue to use it and learn with me and win with me, because I'm still learning, I'm still winning. So I'm not perfect. I'm not out here saying I'm a 10. I'm out here saying I'm a 5 and I got room to grow. That's it. I don't got no ego behind it, because if you have an ego going to the market, you're gonna get wiped out. You see that on a lot of people out here on Twitter, thinking they're big shit, thinking they're leading people, and then when they're wrong, they can't handle it. Then they go away, and they can't handle it. Like, come on, have some accountability. That's why I'm in here with no ego. If someone can tell me a better way to do it, forget what I know. There we go. Someone showed me right now to do a better way than this and figured something out, then I'm gonna absorb it. I'm gonna absorb it. That's who I am. I'm an embodiment of it. I have no ego. If you go, I'm not perfect. So yeah, market, no room for ego. That's how you lose. Second, you're like, should I sell? Nah, I'm gonna hold longer. Market's like, psych, should have sold, and then it's gonna reverse on you. I don't know. There's so many different tricks in trade. It's hilarious, but market is hilarious. Book of Rico. Trim, slam, normal, heavy, small, stop, so buy, raise stops, bracket order. Yep. That would be definitely the glossary right there, where trims, slam, normal. So I have different sizing. Sizing is definitely very important when it comes to, these trades, right? So small, if I go small, that means it's a little bit risky. Or my confidence is kind of low, but I have to try because I have to stick to my levels. And so that's the thing, guys. If you're unsure about a play and you take it, and so it's small, say it goes against you and you lose small. Say it wins and you won on it. All right, you won small. Say it completely takes off and you're like, I knew I was completely right. I should have sized up, whatever, it doesn't matter. No, you were unsure about it, and your small play ended up running big. Then you just won big or bigger, So if anything, that's a win-win-win scenario. Losing small is a win. It working when you kind of were doubting it, but still tried it anyways because you're trusting your strategy or trusting your zones. That's a win. And then say you took it and then it took off and you're like, I knew it, and then that's a win. I don't see that's the mindset you got to have, guys. You got to be hyper aware of the trades you're taking too. Can't just be kind of blindly taking things. Now, that's totally different if you're following someone. Now, if you're a new member and you're following me, I always encourage you to learn why I'm taking this, where I'm taking this, and this is why I kind of go over the night on the night show here is to show you where I took it, why I took it, and what I was expecting, and that's exactly what I was expecting. Right there, that's why I took those puts right at open to fill this gap right here, which we did beautifully. We hit that top, we hit this demand, buyers are here, right? You got to know what the zones are. Buyers green, sellers red. The zones change colors depending on what side we are on, right? If we get below, say we got below this would have turned red, right? Because then we get back up to it, notice how it rejected again. This would be green if we got above it, and then back red once we get under it. So think of it like capture the flag, like if buyers reclaim it, it turns green. If sellers reclaim it, break through it and we're under it, then it's sellers territory. And it's pretty awesome how much they completely just, that's how it goes. I don't question it too much, but that's just how it goes, and it gets respected nonstop over and over. So stops but buy are a huge thing, guys. Understanding you can put stops on your options, and you need to be working with the stop loss. So if we're up on this position right here, we took those puts, and we're like, all right, we're putting stops right above our buy. I bought it for $100, right? And now we're right here, and these are at like 140. I'm putting my stops at 110 for the last few because I trimmed some. Let's see, and then it drops. If it drops, then I can take that stop off, depending on what broker you're on, or just sell it all. Boom. I like that on the Turbo Trader. I'll clear it and then sell all, hit the ask, get filled top dollar, and be all out. Say it's kind of fighting around right here, kind of wicked up, and it came close to my stop but didn't, and then I'm protected. Whatever happens, who cares? Protect the position. Once you're safe and you got that bracket on, and you can drop your shoulders a little bit and be like, all right, I don't care what happens here, I'm good. Like it is all right. I don't care. And I've never seen Webull blow past a stop loss before. I've seen it on Robinhood. Don't get me wrong, but those were early days in Robinhood. I'm sure they've gotten way better. I don't use stops on Robinhood. I have a lotto account in Robinhood, so it's that that's either I'm all or nothing on that really. So yeah. Gotta understand what brackets order is. Raise stops too, right? So let's see. Here's a prime example. Say we slam those calls right there, and this thing started rocketing. We got it for $100. It rockets all the way up. We're at 180 now. I'm raising my stops from 110 to 150 and see if we hold up. And then if it rockets to 200, then I'm raising it to 170. I'm just kind of raising it as the price goes, and then once it eventually tops out, right, and then comes down and stops me out if I don't sell all out, right, because I don't know where the exact top is, but I have a good idea with the zones. And so if I kind of just like, all right, well, either I'm not going to sell out here, I'm just going to raise my stops really close. So if we do get a pull down and it stops me out, then that's fine, and that's good enough. Say it just kept if it just kept trending and going, that's what I'm like basically trying to get at. If it's a trend day, it protects you, or it capitalizes off of those trend days where, it won't stop you out. It just keeps running and running and running to the end of the day. Then you'll really, make that money. But protects you when it's not a trend day and you see a reversal like this and it comes down, and then you're like, all right, cool. I'm out, right? It stopped me out above buy after I raised my stops like 5 times. I'm good. Who cares? No perfect exit, but, you gotta understand, you're not going to get the top and you're not going to get the bottom, but as long as you have a system that kind of tracks that and gets you close, on to the next trade, guys. Gotta understand that. All right, more questions, let me know. I do have a couple questions from members that have kind of messaged me a little bit. Let's see if I can read them. See if I can read it. Okay. One of them was like, how did you know it was gonna sell off today, or in the morning before we went higher? And then how did you know we were gonna go higher? So again, gap fill. It was just one of those where once I saw this candle right here, and at Q was a little bit different. It was a little bit stronger. SPY was weaker. I saw that we took a big step into the gap already pre-market, and we still had about 45 minutes till open. I was like, at that point, I was like, please save the gap. Please save the gap for me. And then I see we're kind of pushing up there and holding up. And I like that. I like that because that just was like, I was like, good, keep it up here because I am definitely going to slam. I saw that wick. I was like, nice. I saw this wick right before open, that candle right there. I was like, oh, yeah, we're definitely selling off or pulling out for that gap. So we opened up and I was like, I am prepared to short this all the way up to 565.95 area, 566, which was not too far off, probably like 50 cents to a dollar. I was fully prepared, but right at open, I was like, let's get it started because just in case, they came in pretty hot and heavy right here. So they showed their hand. I was like, just in case, let me just get in when we push up here and just be ready, So that's kind of how I knew. And then how I knew we'd turn around right here, pretty much the flag I drew, held that demand. A lot of support right here, turned around. I can look at the volume profile here and show you we're kind of sitting on a shelf right here, which was, if you scroll out a little bit more, you'll see kind of in the past few days, this is a big shelf with thin air here. So I knew we were gonna kind of hold there. Hi, Gia. So yeah, I knew we'd probably hold right there. So I mean, good enough for me. Those calls, I know if I slammed down there like I wanted to, ran, I know they got juice because even when I finally, slammed, those Q calls, they ran from 190 bucks all the way to 250 bucks a contract. And so, I know I probably could have got those for like damn 70 bucks and they would have ran up like crazy. And even crazier too, but TEQ, those 58.5 calls deep in the money all the way up here at 60 when it hit that supply, turned around. We ended up slamming those. I ended up slamming those TQQs right here, right? And then, we got the move up, but I ended up stopping out down here knowing, we'd probably come back up here, but it ended up pulling down off of yesterday's Fed meeting. I had to stick to my 20% stop. I had to, guys. That was the only loss I really took this week. Obviously, turned around and look at that. Those went deep in the money. We got those 58. I got those 58s for like $100, 58.5 calls, and now they are at these right here at 134. Not bad. They ran pretty heavy, to be honest. They ran pretty heavy, and that's what being pulled down here. So all the way up here, these are probably at 170, 180. So yeah, I got it for $100. Whatever. What are some things I should know about? New to trading, and what are some things you want to know about? Okay, that's a good question. You're new to trading. Now, if you're new to trading, I want to say you're new to just trading in general, right? Trading stocks, trading options. I would say kind of getting the basic understanding of just that first before you kind of dabble in options, because we're trading options, which is, trading stocks times a million. It's where you make a lot of money with a little bit of money. Now, trading stocks, you're going to be buying equities. It's a kind of a less riskier, and you don't really have any type of like theta or Greeks associated. I know I'm kind of going off there, and you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? Now, two types. You got to understand what type of trader you want to be. Are you someone that you want to be an investor? You just want to buy stocks, good names, right? Buyer market, and just wait for the complete move up and just keep buying and growing your money that way. That's one way to do it. Another way is day trading, and you can do that with shares. You can just buy shares, or you can buy options. That helps a lot too. But new to trading, watch some of my videos on here on YouTube. It looks like you're on YouTube. I post a lot of videos, contents about day trading, getting started, investing, stuff like that. So if you're looking to make some passive income, stuff like that, you found the right guy. Some daily income, you found the right guy. I'm that. I can help you. So tune into some of the content. I have a lot of free content. Follow Rico Capital on Twitter. But yeah, good questions. Good questions. Another question I got was, let's see. This was early. This was earlier, early in the week. And this is actually from somebody I know personally that started trading, and they're extremely new. I'm talking they're like, I've been seeing you bank, for years now, and I'm getting tired of it. I need in. They're like, I need in this. I've been seeing you. You're killing it. I need in on this. How? I was like, all right, put some money in your Robinhood. And I suggest Robinhood to anyone new because it's the most friendly user interface, before you start really getting into things. Put some money in Robinhood. And I was like, I'm gonna show you how to trade some options. Tried to show them, what puts are, right? Short puts right here, meaning if the stock goes down, you buy a put, you make money. If the stock goes up, you buy a call, you make money. So calls up, puts down, in the most simplest terms. Now, I know you see the strikes, or if you're looking, you can see the strikes that says 566, 567. A lot of people misconstrued that where you think the stock needs to go to that price in order for you to make money. No, there's this thing called intrinsic value, which is just IV. Pretty much you need the stock to go in your direction after or the moment you buy that option. I've been thinking about lately. I love to day trade. But what are the pros and cons? Pros, you make a lot of money. You're building a skill. You're learning things in the financial market that you can take with your lifetime. Whether it's investing, understanding where the market's at, what are these names are doing. Nvidia, QQ, Apple, Amazon, Google, Tesla, all these names, things like that. So pros are making that money, daily income, things like that. Cons are you lose money because it's a zero sum game. You can win just like you can lose. And so a lot of people, don't really get the best learning. And so they try and go in and learn for themselves. And so sometimes, you put money up before they kind of paper trade or do things, and they lose money. So I would suggest playing around with paper trading on paper trade on Webull or paper trade on other platforms that kind of just let you play with pretend money. So it's like you go into the market with pretend money and you practice. So yeah, that's a good question. Am I on Instagram? I'm not, but I will be. I need to make a Rico Cap Instagram. I'm on Twitter. Rico Capital on Twitter, Rico Capital on TikTok, Rico Capital on YouTube. Check me out on there. I'm sure I'll have an Instagram at some point, just to kind of post recaps or videos or member gains. I think showing off the members gains is pretty awesome. We have a lot of good times over there. A lot of good times. Every morning we're posting some good stuff. So yeah. Good questions. Good questions. Anyways, one of the questions I got earlier the week, or with someone I knew, they're like, "Man, you're killing it all the time. Let me in right now." I was like, all right, I got you. Put the money in the Robinhood, put a couple hundred. All right, I'm gonna show you kind of the ins and outs. And so from there, man, they're running it up. They're just listening to me and killing it. And so that's another good way to kind of learn as you go on, because I can teach you how to make money the next day, but the why you're gonna have to learn a little bit later because it takes a little bit of time to learn the why. The how is a lot simpler. I can teach you how overnight. Like, I just follow me. I got you. I'll show you. Boom. And you can make the money, but you're not gonna know how. And so that's why I try and teach the how, because I need you to take this knowledge and run with it, with your life, and go for it, because that one day, you're not gonna need me. And as long as I can play that role into it, you can think back. I don't, it's all right, man. If you're not a part of the Regal Capital, it's okay. Like, if you can take the knowledge and run with it, you know what? That's all I'm in this for. I love making money. I love sharing my knowledge. And I love helping people that want to help, because no one was there for me when I needed the help. I had to learn all this by myself. And you can make a lot of money and change your life. And that's the awesome thing. Pick up the phone to make call, put down the phone to hang up. Put down the phone to hang up. I don't know. That's a good one. Up, call, put down. Oh, it's a good one. Pick up the phone to make a call. So mark it up, calls. Put down the phone to hang up. Put, I get it. Put and down. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. Never heard of that one. Yeah, so anyways, I'm teaching people, and I try not to share some of my, of course I'm going hard on Regal Capital, I'm showing everything there, but I try not to share my stuff on my personal social media, because right now I don't know what it is, but of course I got those messages of teach me how, teach me, but like it seems like lately a lot of people are really getting into the market, really getting into finance, really getting into trading, and they're like, you're our guy, teach me. I'm just like, oh, I don't know. For a while there, I didn't think I was a good teacher, but a lot of people telling me I'm a good teacher. I appreciate that. I just try and do my best. I think I'm a good teacher somehow, some way, because I just tell you what you need to know. It's like there's a test coming up tomorrow, and I literally just told you the answers. Now all you have to do is go out there and circle it yourself when you see the answer. Well, not really yourself, because I'm right there saying circle this, because I'm circling it right now, and then there you go. So I try and make it easy. Please, I'll also like to learn from you. I've been looking for someone to learn from, but I haven't seen a mentor. I'm a good mentor, Gia. Get on Twitter. Best way is to get on Twitter. Get on X. Get on Twitter. Make a quick account. Go follow Real Capital and just kind of get plugged into for the team. First thing I suggest is just kind of tapping into these streams. I kind of do them every night during the week, and just kind of get a feel of how we do things. I give recaps, and then I also tell what I'm looking for going into tomorrow. You just basically you get a feel for it. And then you'll start to kind of catch on and understand. It's a slow process. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to figure anything out overnight. But I'm telling you, my boy that, just joined and was like, let's do this. I mean, a week and a half. He was making money the next day, obviously. Like, his first day he was making money because he was following me. But, I mean, a week and a half, he's really getting it. He's really understanding it now, Still has a long way to go. Don't get me wrong. The road is long. It's a journey, not a destination. So you got to enjoy the process. Plenty of times, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. Like yesterday, I was feeling a little because, the TQQ I knew was going to work overnight, and I was having these thoughts, after market close. I'm outside, I'm running a few miles, I'm in the heat, I'm running, I'm just like, trying to reflect a little bit on my performance, right? I ended up taking, SPY puts, got stopped out in the TQQs, and then half trim, half stopped out on NVIDIA. It was just one of those days where I'm just like, man, I could have just sat back and really did less and just stuck to one side, one position. It was those TQQs, and I could have swung them for a massive gain too. But instead, I stuck to my rules and got stopped out. We could have sold those at open, turned around, slammed the puts. It was just one of those. In fact, it was funny. I think my boy Jacob actually caught that. He swung the damn calls. He swung the damn TQQ calls. 81% on the 58.5s, and then turned around and slammed the TQQ 58 puts with me. That was awesome, and that's in the members gains, guys. For the members, go check that out. Loudmouth killed it. That was awesome. Let's see. Okay, Jacques, I see you. 12% on his port today. He's a little late on showing it, but he had a meeting today. He slammed my TEQ into a meeting, walked out, sold, easy. To people like Gia, once you get kind of the grasp of things, it becomes so easy, especially when you're following someone like me. I got you. Like, I get it. We're all busy. We're all living lives. Everyone's probably working a job or doing things. I got you guys. Or if you're, like Chase and you're trading full time with me and we're in this, I'm telling you guys, it's easy. Get it done easy. So, yeah, pretty awesome stuff, guys. Pretty awesome stuff. Game plans for tomorrow, QQQ. I fully believe we'll magnet back to 491 if we break 489. What is that? 87, 489. 57, I'm sorry, 49.57 right here. We'll just magnet back up to 491, and then we'll see if we go higher or not. That's an easy play. Under 46.11 right there. We break the flag, and then we come and fill the rest of the gap right here. That's an easy put play. We're going to be probably touching some lottos, so tomorrow don't be hanging on too crazy, especially if it's kind of a more range or inside day. Take your money and run, guys. Don't be trying to be a hero on Friday. You know, Friday's not the day to be making, the bulk of your money. Friday's the day where, you make your gas money, your spending money, your extra cream on the top. That's it. So that's the day what we're looking for. Pretty good setups. Let me see. Did we get those likes on the lotto? One more like on the lotto Friday watch list tweet. Go like that right now. We need one more like, and I'll post that list right now on the Rico Cap Twitter. One like, guys. All we need is one more like. Get it, one more like. I tweeted that out like an hour ago, so someone hit it. Someone go like it right now. Rico Capital. That is my Lotto Friday watch list tweet, so I can post the list for you guys. Let's see if someone will do it right now. Appreciate y'all showing up. 161 of y'all on live right here. Appreciate y'all watching me. All right, we got the like. I'll post that list right now for you guys. So no excuses. Let me post it right now. And so there you go. Go check out that list. Pick out, your one or two favorite, and just mark it. Be ready for it, right? And if I can tell you my favorite out of those, I would say my favorite is, and I posted it right now. I would say my favorite, go show some love on that latest tweet right now. I would say my favorite, to be honest, is either going to be the SPY downside. SPY downside right here, and that 563 drops right down to 561. That SPY downside, or the Tesla Fridays. I know, guys. I don't want you guys to hate me if I play Tesla tomorrow. We played it a few times on Friday. Sometimes it bangs heavy. Tesla above 288 or under 280, right there. Amazon's a good setup too. I don't know. It's a good list. Just keep an eye on that, guys. Keep an eye. We do have a pretty decent gap here on Tesla. So under 280 drops to 276, kind of fast. I would even say if we stay under here and we get that move down, but a little risky. Wait till at least you're at the gap, and once it starts feeling, get it going and go. Other than that, don't be front running anything, just in case. But yeah, looks good. All right. And then Nvidia's pretty decent too. Where are the sellers, buyers? That's a pretty big zone up there. Oh, it was Amazon. I'm sorry, Amazon flagging here pretty nicely. Whatever side it breaks should magnet back to that lower high, right? If we end up breaking this flag around the 192 area, should magnet back to 194. We break 190 area, should drop to 189. 188-ish, 188.70-ish. So keep an eye on that. That should be very, very easy if there's follow through. But I think I'm just going to keep it super simple. We'll see what pre-market kind of looks like, guys. You know me, I'm always scanning pre-market to see what kind of happens there. If you're looking to sign up, wap.com/Rico Capital, guys. Join the team. We're having fun over here. We're killing it. Join the team. Questions, let me know. But I'm ready. I'll be trading live. I'm trading live for everybody. I'm trading live for all the members. I don't know if I'm trading live for everybody. I don't think I am. I think I'm just sticking to the members this one. But here's a secret. Let me tell you a secret. Oh, hold on. We got more questions. Send email when you want to ask a question about my turbo. Okay, let me send out some advice. I'm gonna bring on some members here so they can get get some good stuff. What's the app you use for this type of trading? Gia, download Robinhood. It's probably going to be your best bet because it's a very beginner friendly interface. So download Robinhood. Go to the App Store right now. Download Robinhood and you should be all right. Let me send out these. Let's see. All right. Sending out these invites right now. So check your email for those. And if you want to get on here, and yap with me real quick, if you're not a member, whoever you are, join up real quick. You got something to say? You want to say something? Say it. Say it into the hot mic. We got you guys. I got you. If you got a question, let me know. If you want to join the team, if you got questions about joining the team, if you got something you want to say to me, let's hear it because I want to hear it. Shout out to, let's see, we got a couple people on YouTube tuned in, and then we got on Twitter here, we got 164 people tuned in. Appreciate you guys joining in here. I'm ready, guys. How's y'all's trading been this week? I know it's been a little tougher. I get it. We've been killing it. We've been killing it. All right. Okay.
What's up, buddy? Can you
All
hear
right,
me?
Chase. What do you got to say?
What's up, man? All right, so I'm completely new to the Webull stuff, so hopefully we can make this quick. So I have my Turbo Trader button set up in general, and obviously, I am trying to do that 10% and 20%. And I was trying to mess around with those take profit settings so I could figure out how to trim. And I was trying to figure out, that was really my first question, is how do I go about trimming with this? I'm not too sure how to enter full contracts. I know how to enter in general. I'm just trying to figure out how to set this up, how to use them efficiently in terms of trimming, and then I'll ask you about the stop afterward.
That's a good question. All right, so pull up Turbo Trader.
Mm-hmm.
So I have mine looking like this. Now, obviously, it's not going to be just like mine. How you want it is how you want it. It's easy. Just click the edit buttons at the bottom. You're going to see the edit buttons at the bottom, which I know you already clicked. But mine looks like this. If anyone want to see it, you're going to see I'm on a specific option, and then you can see I have how many contracts right up here, right? I can show you how many contracts where I can go 100, 200, 50, 20, 10, 5, 2, and 1. I don't know why that 2 is even there, but sometimes you need it. The 1 definitely needs to be there. 5, just in case if I go 10, I can go half, and 10, 20, 50, and 100. 200. I've never done the 200. I don't even know why that's there, but yeah. Anyways, so you can see I have all the green buttons on one side, all the red buttons on the other side. That means I'm buying the market, buying the bid, buy the ask. On the other side is sell the market, sell the bid, sell the ask. Notice how the trend is buy market, sell market across from each other. You don't want them jumbled up. You don't want buy market and sell bid right next to each other. You want the correct way. I keep that just for aesthetic purposes only. And then the only thing I have for take profit at 20% is the buy ask. I know that if I'm slamming the ask for the buy, I know that the play is going to be working immediately, and I also want it to sell immediately. The buy ask is already kind of FOMO if I'm buying the ask. That means the play's ripping, and I don't even care. I'm slamming into it right now, but I don't want to market. I don't want to jump into it at market order just in case they fill me at the very top. I want to join the fill of people rushing in. So that's why I had the buy the ask. I took off the take profit on buy the bid, and yeah. So the second you go in on you hit buy ask and buy bid, and it has a take profit. The second you go in on that, it already sets it for you. It does the calculations and sets it for you. And there's a group order as well that you could go in, and that's actually not on Turbo Trader. You have to turn around, and you'd have to go get out of Turbo Trader, and you have to go to the normal setup there, where then instead of limit, you actually hit down here where you're gonna get exactly that, which is group orders. You're going to see group orders right there. And that's where you would be able to enter market or limit buy, take profit and stop loss orders already in. So you're going in with the brackets. Now scroll a little bit down and you'll see conditional orders. Conditional orders tell you a limit conditional, meaning you're buying at a fixed price lower when the conditions are triggered. So if this happens, then I'm buying. Market condition order is the same thing. You're buying at the market price when it gets triggered. Stop loss conditional is setting a stop price higher than the current price. So if it comes down and touches it, then you're getting stopped out at a specific price. And then stop limit is pretty much the same thing, specific price once it triggers. So hopefully that helps. But the stop limit is another thing that I like, where you set a stop price higher than the original price, and if the price rises to the stop price, a limit buy order is triggered. So I think that's a little crazy for that, but it's something different, just in case you guys. I'm just offering different things. I like the turbo trader. You don't gotta overthink it, Chase. Just slam, load up how many contracts you want, and I'm buying the bid. I'm slapping the bid. I'm trying to get filled at the least possible. I'm slapping the bid. I'm slapping the market. I'm turning around. I'm slapping the ask. I'm slapping the ask. Never am I selling the bid unless I need to get out of position and it's going against me, and I'm like, I need to panic, get out of here. That's the only time I'll sell the bid, where it's like close to my limit sell and it's not hitting, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll take the bid right now, kind of thing. That's really the only times.
Got it. Do you use the buy or sell stops any? Like the
No.
on the turbo trader buttons?
No, well, so see, the thing is now, you have the list up here. You see the chart, the option chart. You can then click on the option chart, and then from there, you can put buy, sell, and then once you're in it, you can put the stop. So you just draw draw it on the chart, so the price tells you. And also, you can have super trend on your options, and you can have indicators on your options, which is like the option chart.
I kind of see what you're saying now. So, like, if we're up on a position, you sell 10%, stops above buy. I would drag along like this, and then press sell.
You would, yeah, you would have to probably. It depends. You can, but likely just get out of turbo and just put your stop. It takes 2 seconds. Put a stop, and there you go. If and that's if you're not comfortable with being able to do that, because it takes a little bit of, when you're in the moment, time is of an essence, So if you whatever your fastest way to get it done, just get it done.
So to set the stop, you would go over to the normal part where it says like side order type limit contracts time and force stuff like that.
Yeah, you can unclick the turbo trader, just hit the drop down, hit your stop. Or if you're just gonna manage it for you, I'm telling you, don't be worried about the stops unless it's really away from our entry price. I would just be focused on taking the trims and the money.
All right.
Take the money, yeah. Take the wins.
All right. That's all I had asked then.
All right, cool. Good question. All right, guys. That's some good. And if you guys don't know what Turbo Trader is, you need to be using Turbo Trader. It's the fastest way to be selling options. You can be staring at the chart and at the tip of your fingers entering that an option. Right, you click on the option, you enter it, how many contracts right then and there, and you can get out just as fast. Click of a button. You don't gotta swipe up. You don't gotta do no multi-screen thing. You don't gotta do nothing. The fills are good. Webull is awesome. So. But if you're just learning Gia or other people like that, Robinhood, get on Robinhood and get the whole basics down. That's what I'm telling some of the newest members is I need you to just get down the system, understand, the show first, right? I need you to understand what's happening first before you really jump into the waves, right? You don't just get out there and just start surfing. You got to understand there's, the tides. You got to understand the currents. You got to understand, what's out there, the sharks laying around, because there's people like me out there ready to take your lunch money if you're on the other side of the trade of me. If you're over here slamming calls that open and I know we're gap filling and I'm slamming puts, I'm trying to take your lunch money. I'm trying to scare you out of your position. I want you to panic sell so you can push that down and I can increase my puts. That's what I'm looking for. So you got to be careful out there. Got to be careful. Get down to basics, and build from there. Get a very good understanding of the basics. Best way is just start watching content, watching people who really do it here, and who really trade. Look at that, guys. If we're on the night money, if we're playing night money right now, we're trading futures here, we would have slammed some calls out of this demand probably an hour ago when we started and rode that out. Again, sellers, buyers, trust the zones, guys. Trust the zones. Are y'all ready for that? Y'all ready to trade some futures with me? We're gonna be making a lot of money together. We're gonna make a lot of money together, and then we'll turn around and play options the next morning. Obviously, love options. Love options. It's hard for me to give up options. I love options way too much. But we'll get into futures. Don't worry. We'll be trading it. Shout out to 181 of y'all on stream watching me right now, and then a few of y'all on YouTube. Trying to get the YouTube up slowly but surely. Anyways, all right, guys. So let's see. Game plans are set. Lotto watch list is set. If you want to join the team, guys, get out here, get on here, join the team. Use code WIN. Use code STREAM for the zones if you want the zones. And let's win, guys. Let's just win. Tomorrow should be fun. So join the team. Come trade live with me in the morning if you're existing trader ready to rock. 180 of y'all. Appreciate y'all showing up. So game plans are set. Let's see what we do. We are flagging here on SPY QQQ. A little bit of mixed overnight. We don't have any news going into the morning, I don't think. Let me check that real quick. No, we just have Fed member Waller speaking later in the day. Who cares? We'll be done trading by the time he talks. So we have no news. It's going to be pure levels. So let's see if we end up pushing up. If we don't, I'm probably 75% sure we're to come down and take this gap out down here for SPY and Q. So let's keep an eye on that. One thing, QQ under 486.11 drops to 483-ish, 483.5. Just this demand zone right here. So that's easily a $2 to $3 drop. On some lottos, we're banking, guys. Come on. We're making our money. That's what you're looking for. We get that. We skedaddle, call it a week, and we'll get back to it Monday. Back to live trading on Monday, and we do our thing, guys. So that's how you continuously win. You do less, and you wait for your setups. If we say we just kind of bounce around here, obviously this is squeezing. Obviously this is going to break at some point. If it breaks up higher, then I expect calls up here all the way to 491. That should be very easy, guys. So that's a $2 little move above 489 if you really had to wait. Say we finally broke, and say we just hold this demand in general, we finally break up. So above 486.86, as long as we hold, we'll break up higher to 491, and that's easily a $5 move if you really trust. But I need a little bit more confirmation, so I'll probably slam, above 48, 49, around there. And then, of course, down here if we lose. So pretty easy, guys. No reason not to win with me. Sign up. Wop.com/Rio Capital. Let's make some money, guys. Use code WIN at checkout. I had Jimmy, Big Jimmy, ask me about lifetime membership. I took that away and I brought it back. So if any of y'all looking for lifetime memberships, one time get access forever. You're with me forever. One time purchase when you're signing up. You're with me forever, and we're gonna take this ride forever. So you'll also be included in everything I do and everything. So that's live trading, mentorships. When I do Rico Cap events in real life, you'll be invited. Anything, we gonna grow it. Also, too, I don't want to say. I don't know if I want to say it too early. I might. Okay, I think I am gonna kind of say. I posted a picture earlier today, kind of showing like I'm at the round table signing some documents, and I was like, big things are coming. One big thing is probably later into this year, Rio Capital, we'll be allowing people to be joint venturing into deals with real estate into what we're doing, which is, investment properties and stuff like that. So, um, if we all go in on a deal kind of thing, split the pie on the investment. If that's something you're interested in, be on the lookout. But that's not going to be till later in the year, guys. So I think that's a really good way for us to, go in with like-minded individual investors like ourselves as a community and network better. Because at Regal Capital, we're all people, in finance and accounting, and people trying to make money that way. And um, you know, meeting like-minded individuals that are, can support that and take that next step and, getting a piece of that, nothing better than making monthly income, off of real estate, having that passive income. So that's something in the works. And I think that's very exciting. So I think it's definitely a way to minimize risk while also getting in the game of real estate, really minimize risk. So that's awesome. I think it's awesome. So that'll be something later in the year. But for now, we ball and we continue to kill it with stocks, where then we make that daily income turn around, and put that money to work, or go spend it. However you living, I don't judge. I don't judge. All right, guys. Anyways, should be done here for the session. Yep. It's gonna be crazy. Be on the lookout. All right, done for the night show, guys. We've been on for like an hour and a half. Game plans are set. Everything's set. We had a banger day today. 3 for 3. Join the team if you need it. If not, DM me if you need any questions or need any help or anything. Need to talk about something? DM me. Show me some love on Twitter. I'll show it back. Tag me in y'all's gains tomorrow. I don't care if you remember or not. Post your gains loudly. Post it. Tweet it and tag me in it, and I'll retweet you and I'll show you some love. There's 194 y'all and 196 y'all, about to be 200 people on live right now. I don't care if you remember or not. Make some money tomorrow. I don't care if you used my levels or if you didn't. Make some money. Tag me in it. Just tell me you made some money. Tell me what went right, what went wrong. Get engaged. Join the team if you need, whatever. I got you guys. All right, I'm done. Let's call it a night. I'll be up bright and early, ready to trade with the team. I'll bring the energy. Oh, also, I'm trading live for the team for everybody. But if you can find a way in my Discord, you can get in there for free. You'll be able to join the stream for free. I'm not going to tweet out the link. I'm not going to give out the link. One way to get in there is through WAP, just joining. I think you can get in there. Try and explore. I don't know. I think there's one way to get it. If you have the link, if you're already in there, if you're already whatever, just be ready. I'm trading live in the morning, so let's have fun. I'll probably stream after I do that here on Twitter, just to kind of talk with y'all or see who's around still. I know Fridays get pretty slow after the morning session and people are done. They're over it. We're ready for Monday, and I feel that because I'm the same way sometimes. So all right, guys. Anyways, hopping off here. Appreciate y'all showing up to the live, 196 of y'all, and I will see you guys out there in the battlefield tomorrow. Let's end this week strong, make our money, enjoy our weekend after that. So appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys on the next night show.